Greetings from the Wrestleverse. It's your host, Billy here, and it's time to take it to the ring. All right, so on this episode of WrestleCap, we're going to be reviewing WWE Smackdown. And that's what this was. This was a Smackdown. So, in case you guys are wondering, my co-host, Tijan, he's not feeling too well. So, let's all wish him nothing but the best and a speedy recovery. Hope he feels a little bit better. He's got a little scratchy throat, so it's tough to try to talk when you're doing that. So, we'll get right into it. We start the night off with Brock Lesnar. He's centering, and he is all sorts of pissed off about what happened on Sunday. So, quick review if you didn't see what happened, Madison Square Garden. He went up against Austin Theory and just smashed Theory. Then the Bloodline comes out, and he clears them out. He starts sending Roman Reigns to Suplex City, cleans house, but they get the better of him, jump him. He ends up getting whooped. His eye got split open by the steel stairs. And that's why he's pissed. Like, he has stitches above his eye now. And he is just livid. He has this look like nobody makes me bleed my own blood. So he claims nobody draws first blood on me. Nobody. So he's out for blood. He's going for blood on the bloodline. So he starts to say it's like he's not here or worried about the championship, and he flings his belt out into the almost into the stand, and Jock too. He is just all sorts of pissed off. He wants revenge, not a title, not bragging rights, revenge. That is it. The beast has awoken. So Paul Heyman, he comes out next, and he says, it's like, hey man, Roman's not here. You need to stop all your hollering. He's not gonna come out. And kind of starts to yell at him a little bit. But he goes right after him, and Brock does. He just starts chasing him down. He's like, oh, yeah? He's not here, huh? Who's going to protect you? And just chases him down all the way through the backstage. And I got to say, it was hilarious seeing that fat man Heyman trying to run. He just kind of more of a waddle than a run. It was pretty funny. But Brock tried to get there. Security was slowing him down. He's making light work of security, and he's just livid. So at the last second, Paul Heyman's able to get into his car and skirt off into the sunset and disappear, saving his own ass. So neat little opening. Nothing too crazy, but look out for Brock, man. He's awoken. So right after that, we get to see a cool little interview. We see Sheamus and Holland. They're talking to Megan, and they have an announcement. They're holding a couple sledgehammers, and they're talking about the ATV and how they roughed it up. And they introduce Pete Dunne from NXT, but they introduce him with the new nickname Butch. I guess that works. I think he's a lot tougher than a Butch. Butch is kind of silly in my opinion, but what are you gonna do? So Ridge, Holland and Sheamus, they're going up against Big E and Kofi Kingston. So this is the second or third time that they've faced off, but now they have some beef after destroying that ATV. And that was a birthday present for Big E from Kingston. So it's kind of silly to see that stuff. But clearly, they are all sorts of pissed off. They go in there right off the bat. Kingston hits him with a big drop kick, doing what he does best. But Kofi, he couldn't isolate. They kept isolating him out and just trying to keep Holland, the rookie, in the ring and keeping Big E out. Sort of the same thing. But Big E is pissed. Never seen him so pissed. He gets tagged in and just starts handing Sheamus an ass whooping. Really, really no other way to describe that. Just a straight butt whooping. But then Big E or Kofi, he jumps over Ridge, takes him out, and it's just like trying to keep him from interfering. That's what they do. They play dirty, right? Ridge and Holland, they can't win a clean fight. So Big E is outside. He misses a huge splash onto the apron and just pancakes himself, gets laid out. It's pretty bad. So then he gets kneed by Sheamus. And Kofi, gosh, inside the ring, what a monster. He is just going through, bouncing around, and coming in with fury. Some good stuff. So Kofi ends up hitting the SOS, but Ridge breaks out, able to kick the pin, and not enough to hold it. So Big E, he misses this huge spear to Holland. He's trying to go in, misses it, it's not enough, and Ridge takes full advantage of this. And when he does, he hits him with this big German suplex outside of the ring, and Big E lands right on the top of his head. And my stomach turned. And we find out that he actually fractured a vertebrae in his neck, and he's in the hospital right now. He's not doing too good. I believe we have a video here of Big E in the hospital. And yeah, poor guy, man. We really feel for him.
I can't thank all of you beautiful people enough for all of your concern and your messages. It's very heartwarming. I can move all my digits. You see that? That's nice. That's always a good thing. Strength feels fine, but unfortunately, right now, they tell me my neck is broken. So there's that. But once again, thank you, everybody. I'm going to be all right. I'll be good. Don't worry. Go to sleep. Don't worry about old me. But for real, thank you. And I appreciate all of you, for real.
Yeah, really sad. Gave me goosebumps. I'm a big fan of Big E. You know, I'm a wrestling fan. Yeah, get well soon, Big E. I hear you, Joseph. This is really sad. You know, we love seeing this, but we never want to see anybody get hurt. You know, yeah, Joseph. I don't really like Dunn's new name either. I think it's kind of silly. But focus on Big E. I hope the guy gets a speedy recovery. It's not an easy injury, and you know, I'll be 100% honest. I've watched that a couple times, and it was just a sloppy throw from Holland. So I'm sure he's not happy about that, but come on, man, get it together. That's putting one of my favorite wrestlers out. I don't like that. But we'll get right back into this match. So Butch, he causes this distraction when Kingston sets up. He's getting ready for a big high flying move, his specialty. But then Sheamus, he sees this, comes up, pulls his legs out. He gets racked on the top post, and Sheamus ends up getting the pin. Kind of surprised. And it was really because of Butch's distraction. So after this match, they get the win. Butch comes in and just goes absolutely ballistic on Kofi. I mean, he just starts beating the brakes off this man. And even the ref can't stop him. Sheamus and Holland, they try to stop him. They pull him off once or twice. And then as soon as he kind of calms down, you think he has his breath, he goes back over there and starts beating the crap out of him again. It was just craziness. I know he's a bruiserweight for sure. It was just, wow. I'm not used to really seeing that from, you know, Pete Dunne, Butch, whatever his name is, whatever. I'll call him that out of respect, but I think it's a silly name. So after that, we got to see a quick little review of Kevin Owens calling out Stone Cold Steve Austin. And now we have Stone Cold's response, and he accepts. And he's got some good smack talk, you know it. And especially after talking so much trash about Texas, I think everybody knows you don't talk trash about Texas to a Texan. Not unless you're ready for a fight. So he said he's going to open up a can of whoop ass. And I'm excited. So this is going to be a good matchup. I'm excited for it. They were teasing it for a while. We all saw it coming. It's just nice to finally see it come into fruition and all of our speculation finally confirmed. Then we go backstage. What a bunch of nonsense. We see the Viking Raiders getting jumped by Madcap, Happy, and Jinder Mahal, Shanky. It's 4-on-1 or 4-on-2. They're beating them up. And I like the Viking Raiders. This was stupid. I don't like seeing this. So Drew McIntyre, he sees this and he starts to walk up the ramp and he's like, no, I'm gonna end this. This ain't happening. Madcap's right there, ready to stop him. He makes light work out of him. Shanky's up next. And Jinder, Happy, they come running out, the whole gang. And he kind of starts to fight him off pretty good, but eventually the numbers kick in and they start beating the crap out of him. So he ends up getting out, throws Jinder and Shanky, gets him inside the ring, and starts whooping the crap out of them. He picks up and dumps Shanky on his back, making light work of this massive man. And Drew, he's not one to be intimidated, right? He grabs his sword, he steps right out of that ring and just starts stomping up the ramp towards Happy. And it was pretty funny. Joseph, we got a comment here. Furious at the disrespect towards Viking Raiders, but Drew saved him. I know, man. Joseph, I agree. Stop jumping these guys. You had Usos do it to him over in Saudi Arabia. That was some nonsense. That was going to be a great tag team match that we didn't get to see. So that really made me upset. And I like the Viking Raiders. Let them get a run, guys. Stop doing this. Shanky is almost as big as Khali, the great Khali. Yeah, he is. He's just he's that goofy big. He's not the athletic big. It's a little bit different. Omos is getting better. He started off like that. I just don't know if Shanky could do it. But after this, so Drew, like I said, he just sends Happy up the ramp. And Happy has this look on his face like he's already pooped his pants. He needs to start wearing Depends if he's going to come out here trying to face off with Drew. So we get to see them at WrestleMania. Not the match I would have liked to see with Drew McIntyre, but still, it's going to be a good one. I just hope Happy actually shows up and keeps the shenanigans to the side. Let's just see a straight up match. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. WrestleMania, this is the road. So this whole episode was pretty much just on that road again. A lot of build up, kind of slow. So right after this, we see Ronda Rousey. She comes out, she's center ring, and she's kind of talking a little bit of smack about Charlotte Flair and saying how she's coming for that belt. She's ready for it. So Charlotte Flair, she comes out, and she's got a little bit of smack talk of her own, and she pretty much lets her know I'm not scared, you know. And it was neat to see Rousey on the mic. She's getting better. I do know why Tommy Mack tells me to slow down when I talk, because she was just running. It was hard to see her. So I definitely get it after seeing her talk on the mic. But Charlotte Flair made it very clear she is not going to get tapped out. And Rousey came back real quick. It's just like, but I already tapped you out. And then after this, the whole crowd just starts chanting. It's you tapped out. You tapped out. It was great. But Flair, she has just that flair. She's great. She doesn't let any of that nonsense get to her. But Ronda Rousey doesn't believe that Flair can pull it off at WrestleMania. So we'll see what happens. Flair just walks out, all the confidence in the world. The crowd's still chanting, "You got tapped. You tapped out." We got another comment here. Edward, what's going on? Good morning. I know Stone Cold is gonna beat Kevin Owens. I don't know. Let's see which way this goes. Austin KO thing will be interesting at Mania. I'll be happy as long as I get to see KO get the stunner. That would be cool. I'd like that. So see, Joseph says Ronda and Charlotte segment was fine. What happened later was better. Yeah, we'll get to that at the end. That was also kind of anyway. We'll get to that. So, like I said, Charlotte Flair, she walks away just embracing the hate. She's loving it. She is a queen and she knows it. So, drink in the hate. Ronda Rousey can't be the bad guy and take the bad stuff. So Charlotte Flair, she's going to. Next up, we have a tag team match. We have Sasha Banks and Naomi. They're freshly teamed up and going up against Shayna Baszler and Natalya. Now, Baszler's a beast, and so is Natalya. That's a pretty stacked tag team. But Glow's on a hot streak right now. So Natalya and Shayna, they kind of face off, or Shayna, they get the match. It's pretty much one sided. They go in real strong, like I said, just handing it to Naomi. And Queen Zelina and Carmella, they're watching ringside. They're there, just kind of being bougie. you know, I think any chance they can get on the camera, they're gonna soak it up. But Naomi, she's able to survive this onslaught of tag ins and tag outs, get some great moves, and starts to work Baszler back a little bit. So Sasha, she slings Natalya right over the ring and out into Queen Zelina and Carmella. And they're shocked. They're like, oh gosh. And I gotta say, it was pretty impressive to see a Hurricane Rana like that outside of the ring to Natalya, the much bigger opponent. Banks is not very big. She's not a large woman, at least compared to Natalya. So they got on the apron and tried to interfere, Carmella and Queen Zelina, but they ended up just getting thrown right back real quick. This was light work. Like, no, 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 no. Get out of here. So Sasha Banks, she ends up coming back, pinning Natalya, if you can believe that. And it took two knees to the face to do it. It was kind of like the backstabber, except it was in the front. So it was like maybe the booby stabber or something. It just caught her like right here. Knees caught the bottom of the chin. That put her to sleep. Solid win, solid finisher. So it was neat to see Banks come back. I know she was out for an injury for a while, but pretty quick match to be honest. Joseph said this was fun. Yeah, I like Baszler. It's good stuff. But we'll get on to the next match. Yeah, well, I don't know if it was a scheduled match, but it did turn into a match. We got to see the Usos. They claim that there's no worthy opponent for them at WrestleMania, which is big claims, especially after the Viking Raiders have gotten jumped twice. I still think they'll hand them an ass whooping. So we got to hear the music. I hear the guitar. Come on, Shinsuke Nakamura. He comes out with Rick Boogs. Guitar's going. Love the entrance. But Rick Boogs, he's kind of wrapped up on his knee. You can kind of see it in the picture there. And they claim they'll be the next tag team champs. They got some smack talk. So Rick, he's all wrapped up. Like I said, he's got a nasty limp. And this was after they kind of got jumped and his knee got thrown into the post last week. So right after this, they come limping in. They get real serious. They're in center ring, and the Usos, they're just kind of laughing. They're like, oh, yeah, you guys, look at you. You can barely even walk. You're going to be the next tag team champions. And just kind of start ragging on them and hitting them pretty hard. So, if he comes out and blatantly tells him, he goes, if Rick can beat Uso here, Jay, in a singles match, you'll get your WrestleMania match. So they accept, and Jay's like, bam, yeah, let's do this. I'm all for it. Let's go. So ref comes out. It's official. And yeah, there he is. Like Jay's like, making fun of him. So the ref comes out. The bell rings, and Jay goes right for the knee. Trying to pick that ankle, going right for it. Smart move. But Boogs, he just pushes him off, right? Like, get away. And then kind of gives him this cheeky smile and starts unwrapping his knee. He's like, ha, 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 I got you. And it was funny. Jay, he has this look like, oh, crap, man. You got me. So the power of Rick Boogs is just overwhelming. He gets him in this vertical suspended suplex. And now he holds him there. And he holds him there for a good bit. That's not good enough, right? He squats into one knee and then lifts him again, still in the vertical suplex, drops to another knee, lifts him again, then slams him, picks him up into a full military press, and starts repping him. I mean, at least the crowd counted 10, but I counted 11 or 12. And he is pressing another human being over his head. And not a small guy. Jay's every bit of over 200 pounds. He's got to be 220. So this was really cool to see. I like Boogs. I like Shinsuke also. They're a great tag team. But this was great. So right after the military press, Shinsuke, he tries to stop Jimmy from interfering, and he ends up getting super kicked and just like caught one, ate it. He's gonna skip dinner, man. Not because he's full. His jaw is gonna be sore. So Boogs makes Jimmy pay. He hits him with this elbow, this running elbow that I swear spun his head around like The Exorcist. It was pretty bad. So right after this, Boogs gets the pin after taking Jay off for the booze cruise. Man, he spins him around and plants him like a tomato. It was fantastic. The whole match shakes. It was good stuff, man. Awesome. Joseph, Boogs is stronger than I thought. He is built like a brick shithouse, man. He is stout and he just keeps getting stronger and stronger. I've been watching him for the last few months now. And gosh, his exercise routine is fantastic. He is just growing so much. Good for him, man. A lot to do with genetics, I know. But so after this win, you see Jimmy, he comes up with the guitar and he breaks the guitar over Boog's back. I mean, like destroys it. It shatters. There's pieces everywhere. Those things aren't cheap. I'd be pissed if somebody broke my guitar. That's some dirty stuff. And he gets laid out, poor guy. I'm so tired of the Usos and their dirty stuff and the bloodline and all that. You can't keep talking all this smack about being the one and being the best if you can only do it by cheating. And it's blatant. And WWE officials are just letting it happen. So it's whatever. I'm going to move on before I get any more upset. So we get to see the Sami Zayn rematch with Ricochet. So Sami Zayn he's holding up to his word. He said he has no problem giving rematches. Anybody that wants to go after the title, he gave him a chance. And Ricochet kind of gave him the same opportunity. He's like, hey, you gave me the shot. I'm going to give you your rematch. So that was neat to see, and I like that. So Austin Theory, he comes out too. And Sammy's kind of confused. He's like, what's going on? And this is before the match even starts. You know, they're still doing their crowd hype. They're working the corners. And Austin Theory's just strutting in like he owns the damn place. You know, he's a mentor and all of a sudden, or a protege of Vince, and he's strutting like he owns this damn place. But anyway, bell rings. And Austin is just sitting there next to Pat McAfee. And he starts running his mouth. Finally, he stands up. And Austin smacks the headset off of Pat's head. And I was like, whoa, I can't believe this. Are you kidding me? This is absolutely insane. And Pat McAfee is just like, no. Boy. He jumps up and starts handing an ass whooping the Theory. And Tijon and I talked about this, and it was because of you fight fans. I believe it was Keith and Joseph that told us that Pat has wrestled in NXT. So he has a background, and I didn't know that. And seeing him just overwhelm Theory, I don't think Austin Theory knew that either. I don't think he knew that Pat McAfee had that much in the tank. And he definitely got the element of surprise and just whooped his ass, man. He beat him down. He ended up picking up Theory, throwing him into the announcer's table. And when Theory backed up, or jumped up, he kind of had a little raspberry on his neck. He caught something somewhere. And Theory runs out and he may have just like completely underestimated Pat, like I said. So we go back to the match, and Pat, like, he's following him all the way up there. He ends up getting escorted out by security. Like, he's out for the rest of the episode. He's not announcing anymore. And I was pretty shocked. I was like, wow, okay. In theory, still trying to talk trash on the ramp. But we go back to the match, and we see some more high-flying moves in this match. And this match was really good. If you guys haven't seen Ricochet, you need to check him out because he is really good. He has some great moves. Zayn has a lot more anger, though. He's pissed off, and he looks like he's trimmed down a little bit. I think he's about 5-10 pounds lighter. He's at 211. Last weigh-in I saw, I think he was 220. So he's a little bit trimmer, and the intensity shows, man. He comes out with fury. Zayn just throws Ricochet off the top rope, and Ricochet counters with this power bomb right into a Hurricane Rana. So Zayn sets up the power bomb. And if you guys saw this, you know exactly what I'm talking about because it was absolutely beautiful. Ricochet's in the power bomb position. He's getting ready to get slammed. So his back is vertical. He jumps up, flips, sets his legs on top of Sami Zayn's shoulders into the Hurricane Rana, and flips him. It was amazing. So cool. Probably one of the smoothest, quickest counters and creative counters I've seen. And that's just one little trick in Ricochet's playbook. He has a ton of talent like that. But for the most part, Sami Zayn was able to keep him on the ground. And that's why he was able to control this match and made it really good. So Zayn, he comes back. He hits like this huge blue thunder bomb. And it was fantastic. But somehow Ricochet was able to kick out. And it was beautiful. I mean, Ricochet was coming in and I forgot what he was going for. I think it was like a lariat or something like that. And Zayn countered it with that blue thunder bomb. It was beautiful. And somehow he was able to kick out. So it was impressive. Ricochet still has some in the tank. And Ricochet gets the pin. Oh, we got a comment here from Joseph. So Ricochet defending the international championship title at WrestleMania has to be the goal. And the title, and yeah, I think the title deserves that as well. International championship is a cool belt. It's one of the cooler ones. Zayn, he did earn that match though, man, from Shinsei Nakamura. That was one hell of a match, man. He earned it. Joseph here. That was chaotic to say the least. Yeah, definitely. With Theory and Pat McAfee, I didn't see that coming. It was actually one of the highlights of the night. Like I said, this episode was pretty slow, not the best SmackDown. So Ricochet, he ends up getting the pin after that huge 630 senton dive. Just so cool. So cool. And it was a great fight. It was an awesome win for Ricochet. Good for him. I love to see this. Like I said, I'm a big, big fan. Yeah, it was great stuff. So right after this match, some really cool stuff. We see Rousey and Flair backstage. They were calling it a brawl. For me, when I watched this fight, it reminded me of a lot of like high school girl fights. They were really just a lot of hair pulls, lot of slaps. What was funny was the officials and the refs and security guards that were trying to break this up. They were getting hit harder than the two girls were hitting each other. Like, they would come up, and I swear I saw Charlotte Flair come around and catch this guy right in the jaw, and her hand was closed. Like he just bounced back. He's like, I'm done, man. I'm not getting paid enough for this. I just got punched in the face. And Flair picks up Rousey, slams her into the Cadillac that was there. Probably, I'm sure, a promo. And then gets on top of her, starts beating the hell out of her there, goes from behind and gets like the double fish hook and starts ripping Rousey's cheeks. I was like, oh my God, man. I can't believe that hurts. I had my uncle hit me with a fish hook one time for being a smartass, and I never spoke to him like that again. So finally, eventually, the officials get control and Flair lets go, and she's just furious. They're still trying to say, just get off of me, get out. And she stomps away. So a crazy, crazy, hectic ending. The fish hooks were pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. It was funny. So, all right, we'll get right into the ratings. We got another comment here from Joseph. This was the Ronda Charlotte segment I spoke of, much better than the earlier one. So it definitely was. Like I said, it started off as like this little sissy fight. Intercontinental title. Thank you. You are correct. Hey guys, don't be afraid to correct me. I'm not perfect. I get tongue-tied. So yes, you did catch Billy Botch. I'll admit it. So Nadula, what's up, man? So yeah, if you didn't see in the beginning of the episode, Tijon's not feeling too well. He's got a little bit of a raspy throat. So trying to do segments like this is very difficult. He did still watch the episode, so he's in the loop. He knows what's going on. I'm sure he's watching this now. So send him thoughts and prayers, speedy recovery. He's just a little hoarse, so he's going to go to the doctor, probably get some medicine, and bounce back quick. He's young. He's healthy. He'll be fine. Don't worry, guys. So, like I said, let's get into the ratings. And guys, chime in. Here at Take It to the Ring, we like to give each fight card a fight card rating. So we have 5 for Fight Forever, 4, this is awesome. And you got 3, you still got it. 2, what? And then 1, worst of all, boring. Don't even bother watching the episode. Check us out. We're going to be far more entertaining. So, I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to try to chime in. Personally, now I get that this is just a big prequel to WrestleMania, which is still about 3 weeks away. The biggest thing in this episode is it wasn't the most entertaining, guys. I'll be 100% honest with you. It was mostly filler. It was mostly reviews or recaps and replays and keeping you in the loop. It's terrible to see Big E get hurt like that. So if you guys are just tuning into, yeah, he hurt his neck. He's in the hospital. He's going to be out for the rest of the year. So wish him a speedy recovery as well. Thoughts and prayers to Big E. But I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm going to have to give this like a 2. It was like, what? Yeah. Nadula, I would give it a 2 as well. Oh, look at that, because the promo with Ronda and Charlotte was worst promo I've ever watched in the last 17 years of my life. I don't know. Did you see Brandy Rhodes and oh gosh, Lambert? See, I have to say fat face dipshit in order to remember his name. That's all Jericho's fault, not mine. Lambert, that was the worst promo I've ever seen. That was terrible. Joseph, yeah, says first half was great. Second half saved it, 2.5. So I'm glad. Okay, I thought I was going to get raked over the coals here by giving it a 2. I thought it was just kind of like, what? There wasn't a whole lot going on. Now, I think it says a lot when the Austin Theory and Pat McAfee was like the best little promo segment. So Joseph, yeah, the Brandy stuff was the worst. Yeah, thank you. It was. That was the worst. So much worse than the Flair and Ronda Rousey. I think Ronda just needs to work on her mic skills. That's the biggest thing. Slow it down so we can hear what you're saying. I'm guilty of that. I do that a lot myself. Seeing that firsthand, watching, I can definitely see how it's annoying. Not the best episode. So I was talking to Lexi previously and about the AEW episode, because that was okay too. I thought maybe I was just coming off of amazing week of wrestling and my standards are really high. So I'm glad to see you fight fans are kind of on the same page. It could have gone a lot better. I think there's some better matches they could have done. But overall, yeah, I'm giving it a 2. It earns the what. Especially since in the beginning, Brock was getting hit with the what chant. I don't know if you guys caught that. How often does that happen? So, all right. You guys like what you see here. Please take a moment to like, share, of course, subscribe, tell your friends and family. And for more WrestleCap videos like this, just click that link right there below. We cover everything: AEW, WWE, AAA, New Japan, you name it, we do it. Make sure you check out our sweet merch down there too. We got some really cool stuff for you, fight fans. And until next time, it's Billy here. Don't stop believing.